Let's imagine this. You're excited to start your Etsy shop, but every time you sit down to work on it, something steals your time. It might be your kids, maybe it's work, maybe it's running errands or just taking care of the house in life, because life is full, right? It's full to the brim, and often it feels like there's not room in it to start a business like Etsy. But what if I told you that within 10 to 20 hours a week, that would be completely enough to start a real income stream on Etsy? So let's talk about how to do that and what not to waste your time on. And a lot of you who are watching this YouTube video probably spend over 10 hours a week on Etsy, whether it's watching YouTube videos, researching things on Everbee, or just going down the rabbit hole of Etsy search results. So what I'm going to teach you is how to take the time that you're currently spending and just spend that on different things that will actually make a difference in your shop. In this video, this is for side hustlers. This is for the people who are juggling life and work and their dreams. They're not necessarily looking for Etsy to take over their life, but they're looking for Etsy to fit into their life. So we'll cover what to stop doing that's wasting your time right now, a tactical weekly workflow that you can use to stay focused, and then also my favorite, the highest ROI actions that lead to actual sales. Because what I teach is that when you are working on your shop, every 15 minutes that you put in needs to be a profitable action step. Otherwise, it's moving you further away from your goals. And I've helped thousands of sellers go from just having ideas to making actual income on Etsy. And if they can do it in their spare time, you can too. First, let's talk about the number one Etsy time mistake. And this is, if you are spending more time brainstorming than creating listings, your shop will never have a successful launch. So stop prepping and start posting. Don't spend 5 hours tweaking your logo. I wouldn't even spend 1 hour tweaking your logo. Don't delay launching until your banner is perfect. All you have to do is put up the photos of your product in that banner. And don't watch 20 videos before uploading one listing on Etsy. Instead, do set a 3-day deadline to post your first product. Give yourself 72 hours, not an hour more. And then use Canva templates or Etsy mockups or the print-on-demand mockups to create faster mockups. And then don't just start with one product type, but instead follow our 7 product types model to diversify things quickly. Now let's get into a little challenge. I want to challenge you, no matter where you're at in your business, to create 20 listings in 14 days. The idea here is not perfection, just progress. And it's not 20 listings of the same product type. And if you are committed to doing these 20 listings in 14 days, go ahead and put in the comments 20 listings so that we know you're committed to your shop. The next thing we need to do is use our time like a business owner. What you do with your 10 hours matters much more than how many hours you have. I would much rather have you spend 10 hours doing the right things than 20 hours doing 10% of the right things. I recommend following my 10-hour weekly workflow, which works really well. This is how we're going to break down the 10 hours to be very productive and focused on profitable action steps. What you're going to spend the most time on is 4 hours. 4 hours a week, you will be creating listings. And I do recommend batching 5 to 10 designs per session if you're doing digital or print on demand. Then in your week, you're going to spend 2 hours optimizing your SEO and your photos. And that would break down to at least 1 to 2 listings a day. And that's 2 hours across the whole week. Next, you're going to spend 2 hours that week driving traffic. Now you're going to primarily use Facebook, which works the fastest, with Pinterest, which is the long game. So a combination of Facebook and Pinterest, 2 hours total in the week. And then we're going to spend 2 hours planning and reviewing. Now this means reviewing your stats and adjusting your strategies accordingly. If you're never reflecting, you're never getting clear direction on next steps. You don't know what to do next if you don't reflect on what you just did. And remember, when you are editing your listings, be batch editing these. You can use something like Vella, which we'll link below, or Etsy itself to batch edit listings, and you can make these bulk edits. Saves you a ton of time. Now the next step is to not waste hours on low impact work. Spending 2 hours researching fonts or spending 2 hours studying a bestseller shop, that's not going to make you money. Creating listings does make you money. You should only do what moves the needle. So these are high ROI tasks. ROI stands for return on investment. This is the investment of your time. And And with any business, time is money. Some high ROI tasks would be creating new listings using trending designs that you did not find on Etsy, traffic strategies specifically surrounding Facebook groups, Pinterest pins. Etsy does reward you for driving your own traffic. That is exactly why they created the share and save links. Some of our clients actually have almost half of their traffic coming from places like Pinterest. Pinterest is not going to work tomorrow though. Facebook could work tomorrow. We want the balance of things that are working now and things that will be working in the future. I also recommend looking into forums. So forums that are for special interest groups or for your specific customers are really great places to be. And then another high ROI task is getting your pricing strategy right and not trying to get that perfect 40% gross margin on every single order when you're starting out. We want to have different pricing strategies for different stages of a listing's life cycle. So set up your discounts accordingly. That is a high ROI task. All right, now low ROI tasks that you'd want to avoid are making little tweaks to colors and fonts and your logo and your banner and making Instagram posts. I don't think that would be a high ROI task unless you already have a following established. Rewriting your about section weekly, that is not a high ROI task. Refreshing your stats every day. Don't look at anything less than 7 days, really. This is not day trading. We are looking for trends. And a little pro tip, if something does not directly result in more traffic or more sales, defer that. You don't need to do that right now. So now I'm going to give you a snapshot of a recurring plan that you can use every week in your shop. On Mondays, design 5 new products. On Tuesdays, write out the SEO and then upload those listings. On Wednesdays, post 3 times on Facebook, 5 times on Pinterest. On Thursday, optimize your top 3 listings. And on Friday, for 1 hour, you'll review your data and adjust next week's focus. And that's it. It's repeatable, it works, and it's with less than 10 hours per week. Now, even with great time management, you're still going to need traffic to drive your sales. And if your listings are not showing up, it's likely rooted in an SEO problem. So I invite you to watch this next video where I'm going to break down the exact SEO strategies and formulas that work now in 2025 and going into 2026.